Awesome. Well, let's get going. Thank you, everyone, for joining the Microsoft Autos webinar series. We're going to be doing this monthly, but I'll get you more details on that. This month, we are proud to announce our integration with RepairPal. We will get started, give you a quick intro of Microsoft Autos. I think everyone kind of recognizes Microsoft, but no one knows quite what we're doing, so we want to make sure you know what Microsoft is doing within the automotive industry, and then we will get into the meat and potatoes and with my special guest, Kathleen Long, and talk about our exciting integration with RepairPal. Well, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on one of our very first webinar series for Microsoft Autos. My name is Liz Calloway, and I am a product manager here at Microsoft, and I get to work on the very fun product with Microsoft Autos and learn so much and get to do a lot of fun things, one of them being our integration with RepairPal. And I will be bringing on our guest, Kathleen Long, who is the CRO at RepairPal here shortly. But I want to make sure we kind of go through Microsoft Autos real quickly so you all have an understanding of what we are trying to do here within the automotive space. Oh, there's me. Again, Liz Calloway. If you need me, you want to get in touch with me, anything like that, dealers@microsoft.com is the easiest way to remember that I have two Z's in my name. So one of the big things that we wanted to do at Microsoft was to shorten the navigation and shopping time and just make everything automotive a lot easier for Microsoft users. We started out with our wonderful marketplace and making sure that we have as many listings for vehicles available within the U.S. and tens of other markets to make sure that we can get our users to where they're looking, whether it's shopping for a vehicle, doing research, or more. And in the past 18 months, we have really expanded that. We have a lot of exciting new programs, including our dealer program that allows dealers to be better connected with better qualified customers, leads, and have a better match so everyone has a better experience. A lot of what we're also focusing on is our ownership, research, enthusiasts, and everything else that really made what used to be MSN the destination for all things automotive. What we're looking to do within not only our listings, our dealer program, or really how we're best serving our customers is utilizing that Microsoft ecosystem that we get to play with. So everything from Bing, our search engine, which has gotten a good bit of traction lately, Edge, our mobile apps, MSN, all of our content, Windows, even Outlook, where you have your email day in, day out. We want to make sure that you are being served with all of your automotive needs. For example, when you are in our new Bing search and chat, you can go ahead and have a quick conversation with our very powerful and fast-growing Bing chat to get the answers you need and find those vehicles right there in front of you. For our premium dealers that are enrolled in our program, that means their vehicles are seen in front of a user who is searching through our new Bing chat experience. Additionally, we also have our default homepage. So when you open your Edge browser and open up homepage, we can serve you vehicles right there that based on your personal needs and really make sure that we're doing the work for you and finding that vehicle as well. A big portion of why our users really love using Microsoft products is that we can provide a lot of insights and analytics, making sure that you're finding the right vehicle for you, whether it is pricing, hey, how much should I expect to pay for it, and in this example, the Corolla, and really give you the tools you need in order to shop for vehicles. For our dealers, that means more visibility, better coverage, and reaching all those users outside. Again, we get through our Windows Start button, so right there when you start the day, and really just go through our ecosystem, including our mobile apps, that has made it so much easier to do everything automotive. We have used, obviously, our very large investment into OpenAI to power a lot of our dynamic experiences and make sure that all of your experience walking through the marketplace or finding these vehicles are dynamically personalized to the shopper, which allows our dealers to have better matched and better qualified leads that are coming into their dealership looking for whether it be a new car, used car, or their services. But since this is really about what we're doing for ownership and taking care of our current vehicles, we've also introduced the Microsoft My Garage. This is an area in which our Microsoft users can park their vehicle, make sure they get recall alerts, understand the market value of their vehicle, really provide a different surface and outlet for our dealers to reach their current customers, get a better idea of, how much parts, accessories, popular videos, news, everything that you want about your vehicle and everything in front of it right there within your garage. So you don't need to go any further. And because we want to make sure we are actually serving these customers appropriately, that is why I was lovelily introduced to my dear friend Kathleen at RepairPal, and I want to thank the person who introduced us, but we'll get into there. I think we clicked immediately. We had fantastic conversations, and we felt like it was a really good idea to integrate RepairPal with Microsoft. So with no further ado, Kathleen, I'd love for you to introduce RepairPal. Love to have everyone kind of hear about what you're doing and why it's such a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Liz. I appreciate it. I'll just say as a side note, it's so great that we're here talking about the future of automotive, and we're two women in automotive.
I know.
Which is not always, that's not always a common scenario, but I celebrated my 9th anniversary with RepairPal just last week. And so I've been working with RepairPal for quite some time now, and building out our partnerships is one of the primary things that I do. And so, what we really look for is we look for companies like Microsoft that are interested in, really thinking about the ownership experience and what people need sort of after that car purchase in order to maintain their car. So a car is a primary asset for a household, but I think most people think of their cars, somewhat more emotionally. It's their freedom, it's their safety, getting their family to and from places. And what we've done over the years is we've built out a high quality network of repair shops, independent repair shops. We have nearly 3,600 in our network now. And we've done that on the basis of high quality, really looking for those shops that are doing things right. And we're here to help consumers as well. So we have a variety of different resources on our site, including our Fair Price Estimator, where we can help those consumers. And additionally, recently, we also started adding certified dealers to our platform as well. So when consumers have those recalls or, they have the factory warranty in place, those other situations, that we're taking care of them across their repair needs. And of course, with our work with partners, we enable partners to embed or engage with some of our tools as well as our certified network, so that, it's great to empower and enrich and inform consumers, but then there has to be sort of a so what to that. Now I've got a problem. I need an expert to help me. Where do I go? And that's where RepairPal fits in.
Yeah, and I think there was a lot of different things that when we first started chatting that really kind of resonated, because I think from what we're looking to do is bring, better quality, make sure that it is, we associated Microsoft with a great experience. And that was one of the reasons that I think the things you said about, what really worked with, who was within your network as far as service shops and things like that, really resonated with us and the team. So can you speak a bit more about, the types of shops and who's in your network and why that's important to RepairPal?
Yes, we are a brand that's based on quality. So when we started, we don't have the brand name that Microsoft does, right? So it's not like you say RepairPal and everybody's going to understand what you're talking about right off the bat. And so what we needed to do is we needed to stand for something. And so in the very beginning, our CEO went around and he was asking people, great shop owners, he was asking them that if their kids were away at college in some other city, how would they know what shop to refer them to? And they didn't have a great answer. And so he said, well, this has got to be a problem, right, where people don't know who they can trust in auto repair, and you're spending a significant amount of money. And ultimately, it's that thing that carries your family around. So, home is number one, a car is number two, typically, for most families. So, really thinking about how we could help them with that. So we created a certification program. We have ASE certified mechanics that actually work inside RepairPal, and they helped us to develop and now administer this program where we evaluate the training and experience of the technician, the quality of the tools and the parts that are being used. We look at the warranty that they're offering on the repair. We require at least a 12-12 warranty. And then we also look at customer satisfaction, which we evaluate independently. And we look at what's a fair price for auto repair, which we use our estimator to really help with that. So we're really trying to look at all the different aspects of a quality experience. And then what we found is that we were able to attract partners as well who were looking for the same things for their customers or members, to be able to make referrals. And it's the only thing that makes sense for a partner that really is focused on quality, because we are so very passionate and, in fact, very strict about what kind of quality we allow in the network when it comes to all of those different dimensions. Yeah,
I think that's so important. And I know that, like you said, just having that sense of trust and security. And I think that really aligns with what Microsoft's doing. We're so big on security and privacy and making sure that what our users are interacting with is, something that we feel confident that we can provide to them, connect with them. A lot of what we're doing, whether it's buying a car or finding that repair shop, we want to make sure that we're confident in putting our name behind that. And I think that's why we wanted to reach out and really partner with you and make sure that as the garage has continued to grow, we have, recently launched it at the end of the spring this year, and we've already seen over 500,000 people park their vehicles. We have more and more vehicles. We have more coming through. So obviously, ownership, especially with everything going on, is a really important part in focus for a lot of Microsoft users. So having you and RepairPal integrated with us is a really big step and really important for us to make sure that we're serving those who not necessarily just buying a car every 22 months anymore and want to really take care of it. And so we're super excited to kind of walk through our first step of this integration and what we can do there. Based on what we have, looking at the service details and walking, with your car, can you kind of walk us through, like, if I'm the user and this is my BMW, what am I kind of seeing with this integration? What am I going to get from RepairPal in looking for service?
Yeah, absolutely. So there might be, different things that you're looking at. One of them might just be, when is my next service interval? Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned, most people are not buying cars every 22 months. In fact, the average age of the car on the road is going up. And this is a garage, right? And so what's in the average American consumer's garage? It's more than one car. So even if I recently used Microsoft Auto to find my last car, chances are that's not the only one in my garage. So I've got this BMW in there. I want to know when the next regularly scheduled service interval is. I want to know what's in that service interval. So we are powering that with some of the data that we have around, what the manufacturer's recommended schedules are. That doesn't necessarily mean that everything on that schedule is going to be applicable to that car. Right. It's just sort of, this is what the shopper dealer is going to look at when you bring the car in. And if any of those things need, replacing, then they're going to be doing that. As a secondary concern, then there's all the stuff you didn't plan for, right? Scheduled maintenance. Hopefully you're planning for it. Hopefully you're doing it. We do know that consumer behavior is to delay all of that stuff. And hopefully, with this My Garage that they have through Microsoft, that'll help keep them on track a little better for some of that. Because maintaining the car means that you have fewer unexpected surprises, of course, and that the car is, safe to operate. Beyond that, there's the unexpected events, which we can help there as well with helping you to understand what are the components of those repairs, what should you expect relative to those repairs, how much should they cost, and then obviously the so what is, where should you take it? Who's going to be able to work on your car? Where are they going to stand behind the work? And, who's capable of handling your specific issue? So we've curated this network of shops and dealers that are capable of handling this, and then we have allowed you to sort and filter based on, what your needs are or the specific repair you need, the specific vehicle you're driving, all of that. So you not only get a great shop, but you get the right shop for me as part of this integration. Yeah,
and that is such a big deal because there's so much information out there, and I think when we were first looking at the chat was, well, why can't I just go and do a quick search and figure out where the nearest repair shop is? And I know that is a big deal, but what are, if my experience is, going in and feeling like I've been swindled because I have no idea how much, brake rotors were supposed to cost, or did he actually do a good job, or did she really provide the best service for me? If I feel like I have a bad experience, what are kind of the steps that I could take as a consumer with RepairPal? Say, hey, Bob's shop down the road really did me a disservice. I felt like it was not a great experience. Is there anything RepairPal is kind of doing to reassure consumers with that possibly happening?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, even the very best shops using the very best parts, I will say there are comebacks. There parts fail, things happen. That's why we require our shops to have a warranty, because we know that that's going to happen. It's part of auto repair. It's just like, buying any other product in the market. Sometimes you get it home, you plug it in, and it doesn't work. So
Right.
if that's the case, our shops and dealers are going to redo that work. Beyond that, if you're still like feeling frustrated or you didn't have the experience that we really wanted you to have, we have a support team that stands behind that. And again, we have automotive trained professionals that we've managed to scoop up out of the industry that are going to be there to assist. And that's what's so important for our partners too, because you're throwing your brand behind this as well. So you want to know that your partner is going to take care of the customer and that we're going to stand behind the repair. And we're going to make sure we do what's needed to get the customer to a good, safe, and satisfactory resolution. And we're going to make sure that we're working with the shop and the customer to make sure that that happens.
I agree. So from the shop, and then you said you're bringing dealers on now, their perspective, what's really the benefit of them joining this network besides, okay, we'll have people be able to find you based on your services that you offer, and you make sure that you're carrying the warranties and guaranteeing that work. But beyond that, what's really their benefit of joining RepairPal's network?
Yeah, so first of all, we do stand for quality. We've always had this stance, since the very beginning. And so we provide them with the ability to say, yes, I'm RepairPal certified, and here's what that means. And we give them a package around that. Secondly, we give them a way to demonstrate that they're fair priced. So, fair price doesn't mean cheap price.
No.
Right? And I like to say, it's a little bit pithy, but I like to say there's nothing more expensive than a cheap auto repair.
Whew, tell me about it.
Because ultimately, like when that fails, and you're not, you don't have the warranty and you're not getting your, the work redone, or, God forbid that you've got some accident on the road or something because of it, that's horrific. So we want you to make sure that you're going to the right place, and those places are going to charge fair prices. Not necessarily the cheapest prices in the market. And so for our shops and dealers, it gives them the ability to say, look, I know this isn't cheap. I know this is significant for your budget and that you weren't planning on having this failure, particularly, with some of the European vehicles, the repairs are more expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to know, like, am I really paying a fair price in my market area and all of that? So that's where they can use the estimator to their benefit. And then, last but certainly not least, through our own website, but then also through integrations with partners like you, they're referred customers who might not otherwise know about them, and they're referred in the best way. They're referred a customer that's now informed. They're referred a customer that's been spending time, parking their cars in a virtual garage because they want to take the right care of them. They want the information. So they've got an informed consumer that's being referred by a trusted brand. And so really, it goes sort of beyond marketing. I really think about this as if, we're kind of matchmaking a little bit between the customer, the car, and the repair facility. So, and then having our partners participate in that and really work to educate and empower the consumers, I think it's a great overall experience for everyone involved.
I completely agree. Like I said, I think it's in line because it's a lot of what we want to do. Even our vehicle detail pages for vehicles that are for sale, we want to make sure that we have just the best engineers in the world, and they can create things, like pricing analytics. Let's look at, how many, let's just say BMWs are in your market that are within this range. Is this one priced higher, or they're kind of all getting that way, especially with what's going on in the market, whether it's shortages, interest rates, everything else that's kind of just so unknown. And I've sold cars. We're in this market, and I still feel like there's so much that I don't know. And for someone who, like I said, can get kind of scared. I mean, whether you're walking into a dealership and you don't know what to do and you're signing your life away for $50,000, or is it, hey, I thought it was just a funny sound and now it's going to cost me $3,000. That's not something I can really swing right now. Kind of removing that, you know, fear and really making sure that we have, you know, not only the things that we've built here at Microsoft, but partnering with companies like RepairPal to really enforce the, hey, let's make sure that you have as much information as possible without overloading you. Let's make sure we do some of the work as well. But I think kind of what you mentioned is us being two women in automotive, we have a lot going on, but there's always the stereotype and the trope of, hey, I walked in and I paid $500 for air in my tires, and just kind of changing that and making sure that we're demystifying car ownership and really allowing people to get more out of this investment that they're making. So yeah,
absolutely.
We're really excited. I know that there's a lot, like, for example, I have my Jeep, that it was my very first car that I ever really wanted myself. Sorry, the Fusion that I bought when we had to sell Fords. And, you know, even it got hit and my window or my side mirror just right off. But the amount of technology that's within that mirror between my blind spot monitoring and the different lane monitoring, you know, systems that I have on this fancy, fancy car is so much more than, oh, I can't see. So how deep do you guys go in far as your estimates? Is it like, hey, you're in a 1991 Corolla, you don't even have a side mirror, you're fine, versus, you know, heated seats and multi-rooftop or sunroofs and everything like that? How deep are you guys really going into these maintenance repairs and giving people a better idea?
Yeah, so we do focus down at the, not just year, make, model, but actually at the, you know, trim and position level for certain repairs. Like, you know, the shocks are going to be very different. Just because it's a Ford doesn't mean they're all the same, right? There's a big difference between a Ford Escort and a Ford F-150 in terms of these, you know, repairs. And the year, make, model absolutely matter. So we have over 800 different repairs listed in the estimator. It's not every repair you're ever going to get.
Yeah, there's always
on
be that
car,
one weird one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, we are trying to cover, you know, many of the bases. So definitely across scheduled maintenance, but then across the, you know, mid to major mechanical repairs that you would typically see on a car. You're always going to have to go to the shop, to get the problem fully diagnosed and for them to tell you exactly what's wrong, exactly what they're recommending, what all of those things are. But this gives you a baseline for some of the most common things that you're going to see. And it is going to be specific, not just to your vehicle, but actually to the geo area in which you live. So I was we were talking before I came on, I was in Northern California, now I live in Colorado. There's a pricing difference between what car repair costs in San Francisco versus what, you know, car repair costs in Denver. Now, Denver's not the cheapest market either, but San Francisco is more expensive than Denver on pretty much every dimension, but including car repair, right? And so, you know, and so we have factored that in as well. So there's different labor costs in particular across different markets. So that's something that we're also looking at. We've been working on the estimator now for probably the last, I think, 12, 13 years. So, you know, we've really, we've had new versions of it, new iterations. We update the data that's in the estimator in terms of the pricing and all of that at least quarterly, so that we're keeping track of parts pricing trends and all of that kind of stuff. It really is a pretty integrated system as far as that's concerned.
That's really, really awesome. And then I know you said, so we have our independent shops, and that was really the big basis and the heart of what you guys have brought on. You know, over 3,000, that's amazing. And now with dealers, are they really just, you know, being treated the same way where it's just another service shop? Is there, in being included in your network? Because I feel like that's a huge benefit for dealerships, because we all know service makes the most money, right? So putting them right in front, you know, for a dealer, the big benefit is in being included in this network and being seen by all of these users. Is that really it? Is there more that a dealer can expect from being part of RepairPal?
Yeah, so that's a big part of it, because for dealers, the big perception, it's a little different than an independent shop. At an independent shop, you might be thinking, I don't know, is this a shop I can trust? Consumer research shows that most consumers trust the quality at a dealer, but what they're concerned about is the price.
Right.
So what we're looking for is we're looking for dealers that are sensitive to price, that are willing to be price transparent in their service departments about what they're charging people, and that want to compete on price. And so for them to be listed in an equal ecosystem with independents is great. Now, there are certain circumstances in which you should only go to a dealer, which includes recalls or your car is covered by factory warranty. And so in those circumstances, dealers are going to be the only, referral entities in those work streams, right? So because you get your recall fixed for free. So, you should go to the dealer and have that done. The OEM is paying for that because they want you to have a good experience in that brand, and they want to make sure that they've taken care of any safety issues that, come from the manufacturer. So.
Right, and that's actually why we started with our recall alerts on the garage, because like you said, they're free. They need to be fixed. The OEM's going to pay for it. It's not going to be something that the consumer has to pay out of pocket. But I think that's another big question is they might not realize that. They might not know, especially if it's something that's not affecting the way the vehicle drives. It might not be front and center. So us making sure that we're putting that in front of the consumer and allowing them to really take care of their vehicle and better educate our consumers as well. Like I said, it's always, there's so much going on with automotive, whether it's buying, selling, repairing, or even just, ooh, shiny, I want to know what that is. It can get really overwhelming and really confusing. So I think us being able to kind of demystify that and work together towards doing that has been really awesome. And we're so excited that we get to have RepairPal as one of our integrations for My Garage, many to come as well. But Kathleen, I have been watching everything that you've been doing. I've been so impressed with everything. I know that we have a lot of stuff going on. For the next couple of months, we're getting into the fun part. Where are you going to be? Are you going to be at any conferences? RepairPal, can people come and see RepairPal other places?
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to be at Digital Dealer. I believe we'll probably have somebody at Used Car Week as well. I personally am going to be at Apex, as well as a bunch of members of our team. We always have a pretty giant presence there. It's one of the bigger shows in the aftermarket. I'm sure there's a couple of other events that we're going to do. Follow us on LinkedIn or on Facebook. We're always keeping people up to date about how they can engage with us in person. So, we would love to hang out with anybody who's on this webinar at any of those events for sure. Yeah. That's where we met at NAD.
It is. Yeah. It is the best matching place ever. It's the very long football fields of all of the big conferences. For everyone who stuck around, we'll get all the details for where Kathleen and I will both be in the next couple of months, as well as how to get in touch with us. And then if you stick around the very end, Microsoft does have an exclusive sneak preview of our new feature that I'd like to roll out. But I'm so excited to hear, what you guys are doing, how that's expanding. I cannot thank you enough for joining me and making sure that we get to share this fun integration, what that looks like, and then continue to build on it. For everyone in the audience, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to be doing this series monthly. We'll have a lot of fun special guests. I am very grateful to those who consider me a friend to answer my text message and say, yes, I'd love to be on your webinar. We want to make sure that we are providing a platform for all of our users to have a better automotive experience. So if you are in the audience or know someone who you think would be a good fit to work with Microsoft, please reach out to us at dealers@microsoft.com. Like I said, we're not only expanding what we're doing for shopping, but also owning and servicing and just being enthused about your vehicle, and really want to see what we can do with the power of Microsoft and all of the awesome tools that we have at our disposal. So stay tuned. There'll be more announcements. But as a thank you for sticking through the entire webinar, here's a quick sneak preview of our new Autos Assistant in our garage. This is our AI-powered assistant that is there to help navigate and find everything a lot easier. We're going to be having this throughout the Microsoft Autos experience, but for this instance, I want to make sure that we shared what was going on with the garage. All our recalls, our news, but in that bottom right corner, we can have a quick chat, like what oil does my vehicle need? what's the difference between synthetic and natural, and making sure that we're really providing a better assistant, as it were, to make sure that you know what you're doing with these cars. And like Kathleen said, kind of removing what the mystery, how much is it going to be, both the scheduled, the expected, and the unexpected. And we are so excited to start unrolling what the rest of Microsoft is doing as well to really empower our users to do more. So thank you, everyone who has joined our webinar today. If you have questions about our integrations, about our new dealer program, or just want to say hi, please reach out. I'll make sure that you can find us on LinkedIn, via email, and share everything about RepairPal as well. Kathleen, anything else before we let everyone go?
Just really looking forward to, being able to include our shops and dealers in this experience for Microsoft users to be introduced to RepairPal Estimator and some of our other content, and of course to continue working with you and the team. This has been great.
Awesome. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kathleen. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and we will see you next time.